Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 2 versus 2 on the Scaries. Playing as the Necrons, we've got Forgotten, and his teammates as the Dark Eldar, we've got Yang Wenli. The opposing team, we've got Bad's Bloody Monster playing as also the Necrons, and we also have Bad's Funeral playing as the Orks. Do like these team compositions, in the sense that the Necrons are kind of being supported and helped by their comrades and allies. We do have the Orks putting a boys' hut in the Necron base for defensive purposes and whatnot. And we also have the Necrons just basically building all the plasma generators inside the Dark Eldar base. They pop them down, they're basically like the, from what I understand, the Torture Slave basically stabs the plasma generators, and they can't just build on their own, just like a Dark Eldar building. So, wonderful use of teamwork from both players over on this side, well, on both sides of the map, shall we say. This map is very similar to the Cold War map that we saw on the Unification game yesterday, in the sense that everyone's got 3 strategic points in their base, as well as the more contested ones in the middle. The only major difference is that this central part of the map is surrounded by big old mountains that you can't really cross over unless you're in some sort of flying vehicle. Do also like how this Necron player is donating 1 strategic point to these shooter boys to give the Orks that much needed blue money that they are so reliant on in the early game. Biller Scavs over here. Oh, pardon me. Biller Scavs over here are being harassed and harried by these grots as the Orks try and capture this, but the Biller Scavs are looking to capture that the moment that they stop. So it'll all be about who can do their micro for the builders the best. Go on, Grots, you can do it, we believe. Oh dear, that is a sad time in the pipelines for these dudes and dudettes. Realistically, you don't really need to capture these points. If you're, say for example, the Southern boys don't need to capture these points necessarily, they just need to deny them for a long period of time. You can see Forgotten taking on an obelisk over here, losing all his Builder Scavs there. And now we will see a big mech and a Necron warrior squad moving in. Do apologise, I've knackered my throat. I've made the bad mistake of deciding to eat a Vindaloo before doing this cast. And if you know anything about your curries, let me tell you now. There's one piece of advice I can give to any man, woman or child who wants to do casting in the future. Don't eat a Vindaloo before you do a cast. It's not the best idea. But I was hungry, gosh darn it. And I'm a grown man and I can do what I want. Anyway, a Hellion squad moving out from the Dark Eldar base. Going to see these Orks. Give them a little bit of a hanky spanking. Going to prevent them from capturing this relic point over here. There's some friendly northern Necron warriors coming in for supporting reasons. The Hellions outnumbered, but not giving up. Now going to continue chasing these sluggers just to prevent them from capturing that relic over there. Big Mech scaring away these mandrakes, and there we go, we are seeing some Reaver jet bikes. I imagine from these guys' perspective, their main thing here is just to kill all the builders, from what I understand. Grots fall quite easily to Reaver jet bikes, so do Builder Scarabs, if I'm not mistaken as well. I mean, they are plenty in number, and these Grots do not have their infiltration research, so best get them killed while they are visible. Yeah, I mean, look at that too. Reaver jetbacks able to more or less wipe out an entire Grot squad in just a few seconds, well, when they can actually physically hit them. With all its negative cover as well, it does also add to the overall DPS. Got a big engagement going on here with Necrons of either variant. We've got some fairly light shaded Necrons versus some darker Necrons. So that's how I'm going to refer to them, as dark and light Necrons, just for ease of my own viewing pleasure, and hopefully your own viewing pleasure as well. There's some Mandrakes just stabbing around this listing post. We'll get it. Probably go for that decap as well. We're doing some friendly northern Necron warriors going to come in and probably try and poo-poo these guys away. Feature countdown on the way. Who for? For the southern lads. So there we go. Where are the other critical locations? Is there just... Oh, it's just the one. Which is actually quite a volatile thing to have on a map. But it is quite central, so very easy for every player to get to. Reaver jetbacks being an absolute nuisance. Are we getting that Grot infiltration research? Oh, we are. They're invisible now, so that is useful. Blade ones. Regular old Necrons. Big mech in the mix as well. You have quite a lot of Northern Necrons moving into the fray as well. But quite the scrum it is. We do have a Southern Necron Lord getting involved. No upgrades him just yet. He will teleport out of there. He is quite low on health at the moment. Probably waiting for his phase shifter artifact before he does anything useful. Bill Scouts just looking on at the carnage. Over the distance, we do see some Reaver jetbikes firing away at some Orc shooter boys. But yeah, all these Southern Necrons are a bit outmatched and outnumbered here as more Necrons move over onto this side. I suppose one reason for choosing Necrons on this map as well is that due to the sheer amount of negative cover, they're at quite the advantage in these protracted ranged combats that will happen in between these small narrow slits of dry land. One Reaver jetbike just running the gauntlet past all these Northern Necrons. Bill Scouts of the Southern variant will have to go back down. We do see a summoning card. In fact, what does the... Yeah, the Forgotten's Necron base looks a little bit lost for wear, really. One unused strategic point down here. Necrons or Dark Eldar might want to get that capped at some point. Necron warriors outnumbered. I mean, look at that. That's what 8? Shit maths. 14. 22. Oh, look at that. He knows what he's doing. He knows his fractions. He knows his decimal points. A little bit of algebra if he's feeling fancy. But yeah, this is quite the sizable amount of Necron warriors coming in. But we do have, in response, a whole fleet of Reaver jetbikes coming in. Also the Dark Eldar anti-morale ability going on. And they will teleport away all back home. Can the Necrons in team fights be able to teleport back to allied buildings, I wonder? I imagine so. If the Dark Eldar slave is able to build up your buildings automatically, then I can't see why not. Anyway, Reaver jetbikes going up against this listing post. Probably don't want to do that for too long. Do have tier 2 finishing for this Necron player. Tier 2 already gone for these guys. Are we seeing any tier 2s for these dudes? Got Witch Cult Arenas, that looks like a tier 2 to me. Night Shields research are also going to go on as well, so will help the Reaver jetback staying alive. Sure Boy and the Big Mech throwing out a big zap, managing to snap all these guys into place. Unable to take advantage of it there. Do have a big old mech shop coming on and some war tracks as well. Those guys will be able to shore up the defences against these Reaver jetbikes. What if they actually hit, that is. There we go, look at that. One of them getting them. And also the Grot Squad not giving up. Losing morale to their own missile explosions, but very aggressive use of the Grots throughout this match so far. Now a whole smorgasbord of Forgotten's flayed ones coming in, but then we also have some of them. Are they all Forgotten? Oh, we also some of Bloody Monsters flayed ones in here as well. It's quite hard to differentiate Necrons, as no matter what faction or colour scheme you've got, they kind of just look the same. These Necrons losing the will to be unalived. The Reaver jetback still being used to full effect, even when we are reaching the 8.5 minute mark here. One singular war truck going at odds with these flayed ones, trying to blast them around and prevent them from moving in at all. But these Tower of Loathings able to deny this listing post, or this strategic point for Bloody Monster and his Orc ally Funeral. I'm going to quick look at the economies while this is going on. 80 and 40, well, 45% build speed on 80, 110 and 40, 45% build speed on 100, and 119 and 40. So no major, huge discrepancies in the economic department. But it would help the Northern team if they can push off this Tower of Loathing over on their side of the map. It does look like they will be able to get it, as they are now free to go about their wicked business. They have an Archon and some Witches. Well as, oh dear, we've just got all the tech now. We've got some Immortals, we've got a Destroyer as well. Not much in the way of Necron tech for the Northern player. Archon also going for his... Oh, there's Corruption Acid. There's that thing that turns them against each other from the Archon. Completely forgot what it's called. Crucible of Malediction, that's what it is. That's what it is. I was going for extra Incubi. One pitted out Archon. At the moment, against a sheer mass of infantry, the Northern team doesn't really have much going for them. The Shooter Boys are going to go for some big shooters. I was going to go for a war truck as well. Not seeing anything too fancy. Witches not wanting to get too far ahead of the curve at the moment. They are just there more or less to drug up the rest of their squads. There's a slow pushback. Give some remorse for Bloody Monster. We'll be looking to see if we can snag those destroyers. They're doing a good job at keeping their distance. Managing to get a good few shots up there as this destroyer got a little bit too close for comfort. Third one on the way as well. Over here we've got a little bit of a skirmish for the centre point. Archon going to be shooing away these Builder Scarabs to create space for his Necron ally. But it doesn't look like that the infantry mass of the Southern lads have been pushed back. But losing loads of dudes here. I really want to see a Resurrection Orb in this central point. I think that would look absolutely fab. Oh, on this side we're doing some Orc aggression, which is probably distracting the Dark Eldar player from getting involved in helping his Necron ally. Just moving in, destroying that listing post, but then being... Oh no, he's been... The Great Wall of Camera, preventing this war truck from getting out. They will lose it. Crucible, Malediction of Crucibles, or whatever you call it, going on the Big Mech. Big Mech does fall. Sure Boys, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And yeah, just a whole, more or less army wipe going on there. That is very unfortunate. Some would say poor taste. I'm on the fence about it, I'll be completely honest. But then again, if it's a mechanic, it is usable, I guess. Still, the Dark Eldar, not known for their love of fair play. Shooter Boys, unable to contest and defend this listing post against all the witches. Blade Ones are going to try and join in, but kind of a little bit too little too late. What are the Orks going to do in response? They're going to tech up, which is quite brave at this current situation. And their boys is over here, so if they want to get anything to defend their base here, going to walk all the way down here. Do have a sizable Necron incursion. Moving down on the south side. Most of Forgotten's Necrons are nowhere to be seen. They have not been replenished. Why are they going to build more? They're going to build some Immortals. Also got some Hellions and a Destroyer squad on the way as well. I should say just a regular Destroyer. They're not in squads. We're not in Ultimate Apocalypse, are we? At this point, all the mods and vanilla are just kind of melting into one in my brain. I close my eyes. I see squad caps. I dream. I see Fata Morga. It's all there, baby. Anyway, Crucible going to go on these Necron Warriors. Nothing much to follow on them there. Although, oh, we do have some War Beasts. They might be able to get some good damage in before they come back to their senses. But they will be flanked by some Flayed Ones. And Flayed Ones will be really good. Oh dear, oh dear. There's a whole fully fledged Soulstorm going on down here, which will force all the Necrons to teleport back. Blade Ones going to be outpaced by this Soulstorm, as well as these Builder Scarabs as well. Wonderful use of the Soulstorm, forcing these guys back. It might not have killed many of them, but it's at least given Forgotten a little bit of breathing room to get some more lads online. Going to go primarily for Immortals on this side of the field. Going to try and focus on these War Trucks and War Tracks. Destroyer getting some headshots in. Do believe it's only 3 shots from a Destroyer to kill a Shooter Boy. I assume they've gone for their Hard Boy armor. Now just look at the speed that these guys can go on. Just charging in. Screening all these Orks away from this listing post. Able to get it down as well. Shooter Boys now being given some fighting juice by the Mad Doc. Will at least create some sort of front line. And we're going to see if... Ah, yes, a fighter bomber. That'd be an excellent choice. against these Warp Beasts and the Witches. Oh, he's got a War Boss on the field. There we go, look at that. Not sure what'll do. He's activated his War by the looks of things. And he's going to try and hold the line, but more or less being instantly killed it. While it's going on, bloody monster coming around with his Necrons. Got this disruption field research on the go. Warboss falling back to the safety of his shooter boy friends and colleagues. The mech shop being built up over here, but will be instantly cancelled as the Warp Beasts sniff it out. But yeah, Firebomb would be an absolutely amazing choice against this current unit composition, especially with the AoE knockback. But it does seem that these guys are stabilising with some Necron warrior allies on the field. Big Zapper going to go on down here. Warboss going to send it back to the Shadow Realm with a couple of shots from his custom shooter. And yeah, it seems like that the Dark Eldar and the Southern Necrons have overextended themselves just a little bit. Well, that's about the anti-morale soul ability. So we're seeing a lot of soul abilities being used by the Dark Eldar player here, which I love to see. A few backflips going on from these Incubi, as the Flayed ones do have quite a good knock-up. You don't want to be knocked up by a Flayed one, let me tell you. What's going on in the grand scheme of things? 76% build speed of 99, 98 and 39, 60% build speed of 112, and 105 and 39. So actually the Northern team feeling very confident with their economy at the moment. They're about to lose his war boss to these warped beasts. Very unfortunate. Gonna go for that fire bomber. Things are settling down on northern, well, on this northwest, never eat shredded wheat, on the northwestern side. Forgotten has got a 2 spider, and look at all these corpses ready to plunder, but Bloody Monster also gone for a very similar approach as well. So we are just going to see mounds upon mounds of Necrons being thrown at each other. John Cena beam coming down. And we do have a Necron monolith for Bloody Monster just being smacked down over on this side. I will be able to just constantly pump out these flayed ones. Do we have a second monolith going for these guys? Well, no, they're just going to go for their tier 3. But yeah, no second monolith at the moment. We do have another Soulstorm coming on down here. And we do have a explosive thing. Where are you, explosive thing? Ah, there you are. Look at that. Necron's been able to teleport away just in the nick of time. Dark Eldar, though, unable to teleport away. Do take a fair bit of damage. Warp Beast now turning against each other, but the Packmaster able to get them back on side. And the Fighter Bomber,
6 minutes
useful against infantry, and his Grot piloted bomb. Fantastic stuff there by both sides. 2 Spider over here, keeping the front lines active. And the Warp Beasts are now turning their attention to this Necron side. Will throw down a phase shift, keeping the Necron Lord alive, and also allowing for some flayed ones to come out and play. Crucible Malediction going to go over on these far-sided Necron warriors. More combat stimulants being popped. Firebomber throwing down some big Daka, knocking these guys all around. It does spread them out quite a lot, which allows you to kind of pick off each unit, well, each model in the unit one by one, which is even more deadly for your regular Necron warrior squad. Also keeps these witch squads out of close combat, which is quite nice, giving everyone some breathing room. But the tug of pull of Necron here does seem that the... I want to say that it seems like that the Dark Eldar and Necrons of the Southern variants are making some good ground, but it's kind of hard to tell, really. Morale on the verge of being shattered here. Flayed ones, though, don't mind it. They've got no morale themselves. And we do have some... Oh, we've got some flanking flash kits. And some shooter boys with big shooters. Which, unless these Warp Beasts don't tie them up... There we go. They're going to go and see how they can show these guys the business. Crucible Malediction. That's a very short cooldown on that ability, to be honest. They will probably get full squad wipe on these guys. Not cheap at all. 70 blue money, 20 green money. Very unfortunate, but the Orc player does have a lot of flirt left to buy them back, should he want to. Phase shift keeping the Necrons alive, allowing them a chance to recuperate their numbers. And what's the current Necron population cap? 16 and 20 and 23 and 20, so bloody monster. Already gone for his maximum, well, above maximum squad cap here, which is what the Tomb Spider allows you to do. But yeah, this is quite a lot of Dark Eldar and Southern Necrons to deal with. And we've got some more flayed ones. Where are you? Oh, we've got some more boomers going on over here. Flash gets being kept alive by the fighting juice. Or they're spread out themselves. But yeah, lots of action. While the tug of war is going to go on down, I do quite like this constant farming of souls going on down here. No big units coming out, just some more witch squads. Orks, like I said, they're going to have some extra vehicle armor, so maybe some looted tanks might be on the way. Greater Summoning Core available for the Northern Necrons, and for the Southern Necrons as well. So might see some heavy destroyers, but then again, heavy destroyers from either side, no one really needs them as there's not much in the way of vehicle play going on. But imagine as the Orc player finishes his extra vehicle armor, and maybe get some looted tanks, maybe even a Squig-Off. Although the Squig-Off pathing in this matchup might not be ideal. More bombers going to go on down here. Exploding these Incubi. Getting 2 kills out of them, which is quite good. War Beast managing to escape before feeling the wrath. Although tier 2 listing post is going to go down. But I think it was a tier 3, sorry, if I do say so myself. More 2 spiders out. But yeah. Not seeing any pariahs at the moment. As these Dark Eldar move into the base. Bloody Monster trying to assist his ally with some destroyers. But this is a lot of dudes and dudettes to deal with, especially with these Immortals chewing away this destroyer. Flayed one singular lonely flayed one up against the wall, will be taken down by those destroyers. But now the Dark Eldar are just free to run rampant in the Orc base. Dwarf, what are you? Oh, lots of Builder Scabs. Yeah, they'll be taking down war banners, they'll be taking down plasma generators. They're going to fall back a little bit due to being flanked. Flash gets once again being stunned into unusefulness. Will once again be taken care of, wiped clean from the board. But almost like a bit of a base trade going on. As Bloody Monster moves his Necrons down south. Tomb Spider with his particle projector, adding to the surplus DPS. Do have a wonderfully placed John Cena beam going to go on down here, which even if they fall back a little bit,
6 minutes
won't be able to fire, so it kind of force them all the way somewhere else. Now these guys are going to focus on these dudes, but a pariah squad is out on the field. These guys mean business. Lethal at range, lethal at close distance. Got some good health regen in there as well, I do believe. More explosions. Getting more or less wiping out their own dudes there. But like we say, we do have a looted tank in the mix now. And their artillery will certainly be able to help quite a significant amount against especially the Warp Beasts and the Witches. Look at that one explosion from the looted tank. Often underestimated is the AoE damage from a looted tank. But it's more about their disruption, I do have to say. Got another Soulstorm going to go on down here, catching these Necrons as they walk by. And the Soulstorm does move the same, well, a little bit quicker than these Necrons, so they will be feeling the full brunt of this. Doesn't look like he'll get many kills, but at least reducing them to half health, and also breaking the morale. Stopping them from, well, reducing the chance of them rebuilding themselves once fallen. Which is a wonderful thing. Lots of witches now as well. But the looted tank continuing to fire, unabated. Do have forgotten restabilising his hold on the south side of the map. These pariahs really doing the heavy lifting, I would imagine. Do have a Necron Lord coming out once again for Bloody Monster. Sure boys over here in a bit of a world of hurt, really. Nowhere for them to run, nowhere to hide. They have been taken down. Looted tank though, getting a little bit of revenge. Good to be allied with some flash gates as they move forward. Big southern Necron push going to go on down here. John Cena beam falling down upon the mass of Necrodermis that advances towards this secondary monolith. Not pumping anything out at the moment. Just absolute pandemonium and chaos as the prize occupy this destroyer's time. Unable to move out as they are being surrounded, or he is being surrounded, sorry, or she. No matter the gender, the Necron tier were shoved into the soul furnace, all the same. Were children shoved in there, though? And if so, were they given full-size Necron bodies? I dread to think. I hope not. But realistically, they probably were, weren't they? I've kind of ruined the Necrons for myself now. Anyway, Heavy Destroyer now out. They've seen the looted tanker. They want a piece of that action. Want to dismantle those treads. But still doing what they can. Getting a little bit of a surround on these guys. Not going to stand up too much. Friars, the sharp tip of the southern spear leading their way in, but separate a little bit from their fighting force on the south side. Bloody Monster now also going to go for surprise. We'll be doing exactly the same. We're going to see this Tomb Spider and try and knock it out of action. Now at the moment, it's relatively even. I do have to say that I reckon that it'll all be decided on how the Dark Eldar use their Warp Beast. I mean, a Squig-Off on the field is no unit to be sniffed at, but again, the main weakness of the Squig-Off is its atrocious pathing. But yeah, this battle down south is just not letting up. It's just the most metalliest of meat grinders I've ever did seen. Almost impossible to see who is winning. But it does seem that the southern Necrons are having some sort of numerical advantage here. He says, oh no, they're just kind of ignoring each other, okay. Bit of a swap seat. Down here we do have a Squig-Off. Trying to slap down these Warp Spiders, oh sorry, Warp Beasts. And not standing up very well to the damage. In fact, geez, look at that damage going on. You do not want to mess with double Warp Beasts and a Witch Cult squad when they've done a little bit of the old Camera Kirk. Yeah, that's a sad tidings for the Orc player there. Moving in some Slugger boys, and has he gone for? Oh, he's gone for the Infinite Orc ability, I think. Yeah, look at that. So now it's just going to be a case of, can the Dark Eldar withstand non-stop Orc action? Especially with these looted tanks into... Now Bloody Monster is moving down to the south side. Does seem like he's taking care of most of the Necrons. Warp Beast now going to see what they can do. Oh, I do love that counter. Necron Lord phase shifting his regular lads out of damage so that they just kind of don't fight each other. Quite nice. Do have some big Daka going over there, scaring away these heavy destroyers, giving them space between them and their looted tanks. Yeah, Dark Eldar do seem to be holding their own here. Necron not really standing up to the Warp Beast, although they're going to one pack is about to go down. And yeah, they do actually seem to be about to be wiped out if they stay around here for any longer. Orcs over here, look at just amassing the numbers. Once the Orcs gain that infinite Orc Boy research, very difficult to defeat them really. And there we go, the Southern team throw out the GG, and that is a victory for Bad. Well, for Team Bad. Yeah, quite an interesting one. I could have swore that the Eldar and, well, the Dark Eldar and Necrons had it. Especially since they were, most of the game was on this side, and when the Warp Beast went into this side of the Orc base and started destroying generators, I thought they had it, but pushing a little bit too far, a little bit too quick, unable to capitalise on their early game and mid-game gains and whatnot. But cool, if you like the video, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month does get you one extra video a week. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. And I'll see you in a bit. Peace.